Hello, I'm meteorologist Francis Credencer, and here's your Montana Weather Hazards Briefing. For updates, please visit the NWS webpage or contact any of the Montana NWS offices. It will remain hot and fairly dry across the state through the coming week. In fact, very hot weather through midweek will lead to heat-related health concerns, especially in vulnerable groups. It will remain quite dry, and fuels will continue to dry out, but with one possible exception, winds look to remain fairly light through the week, so widespread critical fire weather conditions are not expected. Some afternoon and evening thunderstorms look possible through Thursday, but limited rainfall from these storms will mean that their main concern will be new fire starts from lightning and gusty winds impacting existing fires. Here are some more details about the expected weather hazards this week. Feel free to pause this slide for further review. Here is the latest drought monitor. Parts of the southern tier of the state are in a moderate to severe drought, with other areas around the state being abnormally dry. Heat advisories are up for portions of western and eastern Montana, where heat-related health issues are likely to be the biggest concern through midweek. A fire weather watch is also posted for potentially critical fire weather conditions expected along portions of the High Line Tuesday afternoon and evening. Very hot weather is expected through Tuesday for the entire state. It will remain just as hot on Wednesday across the eastern part of Montana, but a bit of relief is possible for western and central Montana. This modest cool down then reaches eastern Montana later in the week, but high temperatures will still remain above normal, in the mid-80s to low 90s. Looking at the experimental heat risk product, much of the state will be in moderate to high risk Monday and Tuesday. Moderate risk reflects a heightened risk to vulnerable populations sensitive to the heat, especially the elderly, those with certain health conditions, and those without access to adequate cooling or hydration. High risk represents a heightened risk of heat-related illness for most of the population, with even healthy individuals at risk if they don't take proper precautions. As is fairly typical of August, it will remain dry overall across the state through the coming week, with afternoon relative humidity values dropping under 25% each day for most areas. While winds are not expected to be strong enough to cause critical fire weather concerns across the state for most of the week, the continued dry weather will mean that new fire starts from crop harvesting and other human activities will remain a concern. The exception to lighter winds may be along the High Line Tuesday afternoon and evening, especially from Glacier County east through Liberty County. Wind gusts over 30 miles per hour and relative humidity under 20% will mean that any new fire starts could be difficult to control. As has been the theme across most of the state this summer, it will remain quite dry for the coming week. Little to no rain is expected across much of the state, and even rainfall from thunderstorms is expected to be fairly limited due to the lower levels of the atmosphere remaining quite dry. As such, new fire starts from lightning will remain a concern, with the best chances for thunderstorms over parts of southwestern, south central, and central Montana through Thursday evening. The Week 2 forecast points towards a possible transition in our weather pattern, as there are no strong signals either way on whether the average temperatures and precipitation will be above or below normal for that 7-day period. Here is a recap of the key points regarding weather hazards this week. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to reach out to your local NWS office. Thank you for watching, and have a great week.